Prince
And
Harry
Warrior
is the
Games was
only
actually a bit
founder
of a
of the
last-minute
Invictus
addition.
Games.
My boss at the Royal Foundation, Nick Booth, who, coming full circle, I'll tell you a story about Nick Booth in a sec, but Nick sort of caught wind of the Warrior Games and said to Harry and the team, look, you really should call in on this one. I'm like, well, okay. They put it into the programme, but it was a last-minute addition. He looked at the Warrior Games, we walked around it was fantastic, we spoke to the lads, and the morning after, we were sitting in a hotel in Colorado, sort of reflecting on what we'd just seen. And we were sitting down at breakfast. It wasn't a meeting or anything like that, it was over breakfast, and Harry, he said, look, this is absolutely brilliant. What we've seen here at the Warrior Games is absolutely brilliant. But what we need to do is we need to internationalise this. We need to invite allies, nations from all over the world. We're going to put it in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. It needs to be on the BBC. This is going to be massive. We're going to have a closing concert. He could see it.
All like that over breakfast.
Before anyone else could. He has been the visionary and the driving force behind this. So anyone that sort of sits back there and is a bit sort of disparaging and goes, oh, well, he's just a figurehead or whatever, how much is he even involved in it?
Yeah.
From my personal experience, he has been the visionary from the very beginning and has been incredibly involved and is just incredibly proud of his involvement in it.
It's the belonging as well, isn't it? That's really important.
He fits in. I think, Andrea was saying earlier, that he's a fun guy and, he's, absolutely. He fits in that kind of army environment. He's said in the past, that's where he feels most at home. And it's difficult for me to say because I only ever see him when he's around me, who's also another veteran. So, I only ever see him through that lens. But I guess, I've been on enough engagements with him where it's been civilian, obviously, and you can see he sort of relaxes into a military or veteran companionship, if you like.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you were there the morning of deciding you were going to launch that. It's a good thing that you were presumably supportive and not just like, nah, mate, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
What's in your breakfast?
Weetabix.
Were you there? Were you like, yeah, let's do it?
Mega. Why not? Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. But we didn't realise, actually, the time frame he had in mind.
Right.
So, bear in mind that was May 2013. We went back to the Warrior Games sort of like that afternoon and he stood up on the stage on a podium. And I think it had been written in his speech, sort of that vision to say, look, we'd like to do this. I think he'd added his own note which said, next year.
Oh my God. He went rogue.
Yeah, he went rogue.
A few officials sort of
so
dropping
we were
their
like,
pens. Yeah.
What? Next year? And that landed in our in tray. And for a long time, there was just sort of like 3 or 4 of us at the Royal Foundation who were sort of managing this and managing this as a project. September 2014, we were there in the park, Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. Yeah, It might have been by the skin of our teeth. But we were there. And we had, how many nations did we have there? I think we had 13 nations, 9 sports, 500 participants, nearly 1,000 friends and family. I think 65,000 people went through the gate and watched it live, millions on TV. Had the Foo Fighters on stage at the final concert.
Wow, brilliant.
Dr. Jill Biden flew in as a presidential delegation. It was massive. And we pulled all that together from May 2013 to September 2014.
Fantastic.
Finally, our foundation, the Royal Foundation, which somehow we've managed to get our name on the board, which is great, is delighted and honoured to be working in partnership with our friends here at the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee. Our joint aim is to help those who have fought together to achieve their own personal goal, whatever that be, however big or small. And I only hope that in the near future, we can bring the Warrior Games to Britain and continue to enlarge this fantastic cause. And I don't see how it wouldn't be possible to fill a stadium of 80,000 people, not to watch Olympics, not to watch Paralympics, but to watch wounded servicemen fight it out against each other, not on the battlefield, but in a stadium. So thank you very much for having me here today, and hopefully I'll see you out there at some point. Thank you.